Not a very good day. Bob here at Weldon Rust. Rust. That's always lots of fun. And one of the things I've noticed on YouTube when dealing with brakes, now I've done more brakes than I care to remember. And there's a problem that happens with 99% of the time I've done it. YouTube doesn't seem to want to answer the question or really gloss over it, if anything. They'll tell you about frozen brake calipers, brake lines that don't work anymore. But certain things they don't mention, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Whether you fix cars or have to get your car fixed, this is something you probably should know and watch. Let's show you what's going on here. My wife, who is not a mechanic, has a good sense of smell, and she smelled something last night, went for a drive. It's like, it doesn't smell right. I went and checked the wheels, and sure enough, this one was warm. The other ones were cold. Okay? But as you can see, there is drag here. We're going to take the wheel off, and I want to show you something, because I'm 99% sure I know what the problem is. Now that we're apart, I can show you what 99% of the time has caused me the problems. And I've done a few brakes now. But what happens, you can see, I did these brakes not that long ago. But the important thing is, you see how these pads, they slide. This is critical. And it's weird because most of the YouTube videos I've seen, they don't even mention, or they barely mention this one. But what happens is, I'm going to shake this one out to show you, is I'll put a little bit of grease, oh look, it's still there, on the corners here. Okay. First time I tried doing brakes, I always thought the aftermarket pads I used were kind of junk, because when I put them in, they were going in tight, and I thought, this ain't right. It turns out what happens, these are, I think these are cast iron or cast steel, but anyways, underneath the clips is what the issue is. Because underneath here, we get rust buildup. When you get the rust buildup, these things are hard to get in, and they squeeze on here. These have to float. This is critical. Okay? So what I end up doing is usually taking off the bracket, filing this so the pad fits. I know years ago what I used to do, without realizing this was the issue, I used to file the pads. You can do that, but it's really the right way to do it is to fix the caliper bracket so the pads fit. This is important to fitting. Okay. Apparently, this was 99% of the time I have to deal with it. Pins, I've never had a problem with. Usually when I take them apart, they're well greased. I've never had a problem. Calipers, same sort of deal. I've never had a problem. Now, this is the way these brakes work and the way the emergency brake works. It's interesting to note the cables, when I put them on and release them, it's not a problem. One of the other little things I've learned too, if this car is a standard, so it gets the emergency brake used on a regular basis. With an automatic, if I was borrowing someone else's car, I wouldn't even think about putting on emergency brake unless it was an absolute emergency. Reason being is most people don't use it and the cable sees. You put on an emergency brake in an automatic, there's a good chance you ain't releasing it. Anyways, this particular issue is what I found is when I put on the emergency brake and released it, this would seize. And it's like, now we know where the real problem is. It's actually getting rusty in here. Welcome to the Great White North when we have nothing but rust issues. Is that it was rusting in here, so the spring wasn't enough force to return it back. So this has got to get cleaned, either cleaned up, greased. I got penetrating oil on here now. Hopefully that's going to fix the problem. Anyways, that's all I really want to show you on this one. I hope you guys learned something from this one. So hopefully this will help you. Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And bye for now.